are back and we are still chilling with Thalea, who's telling us everything about Thalea. But now we are going to progress to your senior years. I can't even say senior because you're not even 25. You turned 25 on the 27th of December, I think.
I turned 26.
26 on the 27th, and I still can't say senior. However, at the maturity of your career, let's talk Hollywood Bets. It's been a very long season, but you and your team have done exceptionally well for the fact that this is a debutante team, and to finish in 6th position is remarkable because we've seen teams not, making it to the Hollywood Bets and then maintaining it. We saw what happened to Vasco da Gama and all the rest of the teams. But finishing 6th position, walking away with a win for USA. 2 of your colleagues walked away with awards at the Hollywood Bets Awards. So congratulations, by the way. I think it's quite remarkable. But how has the season been for you? And we know that we saw you at Mamelodi Sundowns, and then we saw you move to the University of Pretoria. And your performance is what people missed because we didn't see a lot of Thalea that we used to seeing before your move. How has the shift been for you, and how has the season been for you in terms of performance? And we'll get to the injury, but I just want to know, in the body of the season, how has that been for you?
In terms of performance, I'm quite happy with what I did this season. I think personally, I did well because I was enjoying my football. I was in an environment where I was free, I could lead. I had a group of players that are willing to learn, and I would gladly say that I enjoyed my season, and I think that I had a good season. I mean, I scored 3 goals, and I got to play a bit higher up the field, closer to the goals, because at Sundowns I was playing strictly as a CDM, and at Tuks I was used as a CDM or as a central midfielder or as an attacking midfielder. So I enjoyed getting into the areas where I could, express myself, and I could create more, and I could even attempt to try and score goals, because that's also a place where I enjoy playing. And I think that is also positive for me, because when I get into the national team, when I was called in the national team from Sundowns, I was not only used as a CDM, but I was also thrown in as an 8. And I think for me, playing as an 8 or as a 6 at Tuks made it easier, because you wouldn't be lost when it comes in and you're thrown in the deep end. You'll be able to still deliver what you can. So I think we had a fairly good season. I think we've gave some big teams hard times. A run for their money. I mean, we went to Galaxy and we won that side, and not a lot of teams goes there and win. We went to Richmond in the R.
Nobody wins.
Nobody comes out that side alive.
Yeah.
I mean, we won that game 2-1, and I scored a goal. I wish that goal could have been recorded. So I think it was a fairly good season, given that Tuks are debutants in the league. And I also think that the group of players is a talented group of players. There's young players, there's a few experienced players, and I think the mixture makes the cohesion even sweeter. And yeah, like you said, congratulations to the 2 recipients of the awards at the Hollywood Bets Awards. One of them is Jemba, also known as Mbato.
Yeah.
We're very, very close. So she plays as a 6 at Tuks, and me being the player that I am, I love advising her, and she's also very open to learn and to want to do better. And I also feel that the type of person that I am, I'm put in a position, or I'm put in an environment for a certain reason. And one of those reasons was at Tuks, to put at Tuks to keep Jemba level-headed, to keep her grounded, to also remind her that you're very talented, and sometimes things won't go your way, you won't have the best games, but this doesn't mean that you are not a great player. So I think that was one of the main reasons of me also being in Tuks is inspiring those ones around me. And I think I did that very well. And when Jemba won the award, she messaged me and she sent me a text and she's like, I have to really thank you because I don't think I would have done this without you. So that for me meant a lot, that it meant that what I want to do and the things that I want to achieve doesn't go in vain. So also, I think the team did a sterling job. They went on to win the USA championship. I wasn't part of the team because I'm currently not a student, but they went on to win the USA championship, and I think that is evident of the good work that has been, at the team.
I love that, and we love Maba too. I mean, that's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Always willing to learn. I remember seeing her for the first time at the Nike Her Games, and she won Player of the Tournament. And I just knew that this girl's destined for greatness. But I love the fact that you also play a role as a mentor to her and making her understand some of the challenges that, come with football. And speaking of challenges, you're one person, a player who's very level-headed and has taken some of the challenges, with you made lemonade with the lemons that have been thrown at you. Let's talk about the Banyana FIFA World Cup. We know that the whole of South Africa was, girl, people love you. I was like, no, because I was just on social media when that final list came out, and people would size themselves to say, how is Thalea not part of this? And I mean, you were at your peak. I think you were still really hot. And it was a bit of a snap to the country, not just to yourself. But receiving that, and I saw your message on social media where you spoke about it, and I was like, she's so profound. Like, she's handling this like a queen. But take us through the emotions of how that felt at that time when you were buzzing. And you said that, there was a time when you played the previous year, coaches were impressed. And I think you were obviously working very hard to make sure that you keep the consistency and you get the call up, and then that happened. How was the news, and how did you handle it moving forward? Tell us the truth.
Well, life is full of disappointments.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think it was a better moment for me. I did, however, have the room for disappointment. I had that room. I left that space, and so it's 2023. Banyana has a lot of friendlies lined up because it's a World Cup year. There's the Turkish Cup. I think there was a friendly before or after. I don't know if it was Serbia or Serbia. So I'm in camp. I don't know if it was for the Turkish Cup, but I think for the Turkish Cup I'm in camp. And I think that we played a few league games before that camp. So I wasn't getting a lot of game time at my club, which was Sundowns at the time. And obviously not playing does affect you.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, it's a fact.
Yeah.
Because training and being match fit are two totally different things. So I get called into camp and we train. I do feel a bit rusty. I won't lie. I felt a bit rusty, and I don't make the team for the Turkish Cup. And I think that was like one of my first, you're not selected. So that was a bit difficult on me. So I took it. I tried my best to deal with it, and I overcame that. And then the Serbia one, I was also not playing, and I missed the camp. But something that I expected, so I didn't have too much disappointment with that. And then I decided that I want to, I want to just give myself a fair chance at making the World Cup team. I wouldn't be satisfied if I didn't give myself the fair chance personally. I don't want any chances from anyone. I want to give myself a fair chance personally. And that's why I end up at Tuks. I start playing more. I start enjoying my football more. I'm happy. I'm just enjoying my football. I get called for the selection camp, the provisional camp. I enjoyed the camp. I think I did well. And like I said, I had that room for disappointment. I kept it. And, you know, I even had people interview me before the World Cup selection camp. And I remember I had an interview after a certain game at Tux with Kate. And she was saying that you're doing so well, like, are you what is your take on making the team for the World Cup squad? And my response was like, if it's for me, it will happen. I also told her that I'm a very spiritual person, so I believe that yes, that if it's God's time, it will happen. That if it's not for me, it will pass me. Anyway, we in camp. We have the training. You can see it's intense. People are now, and it's going hard in training. You can see like, hey, this is a selection camp. Everyone is doing their best, and the news comes that you've done your best, and we've seen it, but unfortunately, it's a very difficult decision. And the news breaks, and at the moment, I absorb it, but I don't feel. So I'm absorbing without feeling. And exactly, so I'm just absorbing. And I think when I was like at home, and I felt a lot of sadness, but on the other side, being so spiritually inclined helped me so much. Then I accepted that this was not meant for me and it's not my time. And I have to make a decision. Do I let this decision define me, or do I carry on being who I am and overcome what had just happened? Because I have already in my football journey overcome so much, and I believe this is just another setback or another speed bump to make my football story sweeter. I mean, in 2019, I actually broke my ankle. We had a Varsity Cup game. I was at Tux at the time. I was still studying at a Varsity Cup game, live game actually, and I broke my ankle. I had a high ankle fracture. I tore all the ligaments around my ankle, and most people thought I wouldn't come back. Most people thought I wouldn't come back after the injury. Even the doctor that operated on me said this is a very traumatic injury, and if your rehab is not done correctly, like, it would be very difficult for you to come back. And what I've achieved after that injury is out of this world. You know, it was WAFCON, it was CAF, it was league winner, it was COSAFA CAF qualifiers winner. So for me, it's just that I believe that everything happens for a reason, and there's a season for everything. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy process for me, but I allowed myself to feel, and I accepted that I'm human, and that the thing that I'm doing, I attach so much love to it. So it is bound that it's gonna hurt me, and I allowed myself to heal, and that's how I overcame the disappointment.
Love it. Love it. You resurrected so gracefully, and you speak about faith and how it was such a huge disappointment for you, because it would be for anybody, having worked so hard and not being called up. However, you understanding that probably this is not my time, I'll just go back to the drawing board. I'll play football, which is what I love to do, and then I'll just work harder. And I think also age is on your side, because that could have been a little bit of a different story for a player who's in the late 30s.
I hope age is on my side.
Age is on your side.
I hope so.
Okay, to understand, we really mature a bit later. You know, if we were in Spain, we would be having a different conversation. But I love that, but you've resurrected, and you've done so well after that. We saw at COSAFA, that call up, everybody was smiles again. You wore the captain armband, it really fit you so nicely. You had player of the match at one of the matches, and you did it so gracefully. And I think that is your story, to say, I'm down now, but I'm not going to be down forever, and then I'm going to continue. I need a longer time and a longer segment for this conversation, because there's so much to talk about with you. People don't know the belt that you have in educational department. We are girl who's all about her education, because we know as footballers there's places and options we need to fall onto. But quickly, what is next for Thalea? What can we look forward to? What does your future look like before we wrap up?
My future.
And in the pipeline.
Okay. So I have a few qualifications. I have BSc in biotechnology, a BSc honors in plant science, postgrad diploma in digital innovation, and a postgrad diploma in entrepreneurship.
To do that poo sound like this, because actually,
yeah. So I'm also focused on my brand individually, building my brand. So I've been working with a few brands. Actually, just had a collaboration with Powerade. Yeah. And I'm looking to collaborate with a lot more brands and building partnerships with them, long-term partnerships, because I believe that us as female footballers should also focus on our brands out there and selling ourselves as well. And then in terms of the academic space, if I could play football forever, I would love that, but that's impossible. Yeah, so I did digital innovation, and I do want to venture into some part that I studied, which is human-computer interaction. So it has UX, and which is user experience, and UI, which is user interface design. Yes, so that's something that I've, over the past year, had more interest in, and something that I would love to venture more into. And then on the side, I also have a startup in agri-tech. So looking to venture into the farming field, where we can incorporate technology to make the whole farming process easier for farmers. So that's something that I'm looking to venture. It's a startup, so it's a bit slow. But yeah, those are currently what's on my mind and what I'm looking to venture into.
We love it. I really think we need another segment to discuss all of that. But thank you so much for being part of this conversation, for giving us a profile and insight of who you are, what your future plans are. When we bring you here again, we'll be talking about those endorsements and those partnerships that you've secured. Thank you so much for being.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that's a wrap, unfortunately, with the conversation with Thalea. Super had fun. Please do engage with us. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and let us know who you would like to see on the seat having a conversation with us here on Fut-Afrique channel.